Good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday. It is 8:30, and just wanted to touch base. Just jumping on here as usual. It's nice to go live again. It's been a while, and hope everybody's doing well, keeping safe. Finally, some beautiful weather outside. Master Ho, how are you, sir? It's great to see you. Thanks for joining. Hope you are well. Are you still training? That is a question. Are you still training? Nathan, good evening, sir. How are you? It's great to see you on. An attractive package you have, should I say. Very good. You're lucky. You got some good stuff there. Tristan, good evening, brother. It's nice to see you, man. Still inspiring me a lot. Love watching your stuff on the clutch mindset. If you're looking for some inspiration there, some great stuff going on in that group too. Ryan, good evening. Not sure if it's me, but you hear no sound. Anybody else hear no sound? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. You should all be able to hear me. Keep at it, bro. Thank you so much, Tristan. You've always been an inspiration to me, brother. Always learning. That mindset is always there to grow. Just give me a few thumbs up if you can hear me. One person said they can't hear me. Okay, Amy, you can hear you perfectly. Good. I don't have to hit the testing. 1, 2, 3. We are good to go. Perfect. Amy, you hear me? Tristan, always, man. Always. Perfect. Alrighty. So I've got a few more people on here. So, as you know, I like to start to get out here. I'm starting to get back into the flow of doing interviews and talking to people. And, this journey is beautiful. What happens is as you're out there and you're talking to people, inspiring them, motivating them, it doesn't matter which area you're in, whether you're a life coach or personal development coach or a fitness coach. It doesn't matter what area you're in. You're going to touch people's lives, and people are going to come into your life at various stages, and they're going to share a story with you. And those stories are not meant to scare you, but they're meant to inspire you to say, if they can do it, I can do it. What has changed in their life that has allowed them to get to where they are? What steps are they taking to get there? And maybe I can hit some of those points there, and I can do the same. So tonight's guest, I've got an amazing lady. She has just been chatting to her for a little while now, and her story is phenomenal. And I'm not going to spoil it for you. I am going to bring her on. Her name is Anna, and I'm going to bring her on in a second, and she's going to share her story with you. I've heard it, and there are some emotional sides to it. There are some inspirational sides to it as well. But I want you to listen very carefully, because if it resonates with you, then I want you to take that away and use it as a building tool for your future. Use it as a building tool for your next steps. We've all got time on our hands right now. What are we going to do to get us to our goals? All right. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on my guest. I'm going to find where she is. She was just here a second ago. There she is. And I'm going to welcome a good friend, Anna. We're just going to wait for her to jump on. Okay. Technology pending. Tristan, loving those hearts and thanks. Love you, brother, man. And Sarah, good evening. It's nice to see you. Kunj, Jennifer Hill, good evening. Ryan, good evening. Raj, good evening. I'm going to just wait and we'll see. Again, we had some technical difficulties last week when I was on the call with Amy, so hopefully we should figure this out. If not, I don't know what else I can talk about. Anybody else say anything? Give me something to talk about. But we are good. And in 3, 2, 1, we have Anna.
Hi.
Look at that smile.
Sorry,
man.
my phone was not cooperating.
Look
so
at
I was
that.
just like, embrace the suck.
The smile from ear to ear. Damn, lucky I got my phone on landscape. That thing filling up my entire screen.
That's the comment I always get from
Look
people.
at
My
that
smile.
God.
Yeah.
Anyways, Anna, thank you so much. I know you're a busy mom. Look, just I can just tell you've been on the go. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. Before I start, I want to say thank you. Thank you because you are doing an amazing job. You are a frontline nurse, and thank you for everything that you are doing. I've heard some of the stories, and they're phenomenal. But I am going to flip this over to you,
All
Anna.
right.
Take it away. Tell us a little bit about you. We got a bunch of viewers on here tonight.
Okay.
They've kind of got a snippet of what this is going on about. This is what you're talking about. But let's share your story. Let's start. Let's give everybody a sort of an overview of where you have come from and what you have done. And I have some questions here for you.
All right. Sounds good. Well, first of all, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you everyone for letting me share my story, because that is a huge part of why I even do what I do and how I've gotten as far as I've gotten. Varish, thank you so much for having me and for allowing me to share my story. So for those of you that don't know me, hi, my name is Anna. I am a 30-year-old mom. I am a nurse. I am, like Marie said, I'm go, go, go. I am all over the place. So about a year ago, more than a year ago, I looked completely different. If you saw me from today to a year ago, I guarantee you, you would not even recognize me. And I think the best way that I can explain that to you is by simply showing you my picture. Um,
Wow.
so this picture behind me. I think I put it behind me. So one of the pictures that I have is actually behind me. And I leave it here. Can you see it?
Not
Kind
really.
of. If not, I can pull it down real quick. Sorry about that. You know what? I'm just going to have to pull the whole frame. So this picture, my loving husband actually put it right in front of me. And this is a picture that I look at each and every single day
Wow.
because this woman on the right, I have fond memories of her and, things that happened in that time. But this woman here, that's who I am. That's who I am today. And
Amazing.
and that was over 100 pounds ago, and I genuinely regained my life. The smile you see, that was hidden behind the weight before. As you can see here, there's no smile, there's no joy, there's nothing here. But right here is that smile that you were talking about. And any time that someone I meet, someone I talk to, anything, they always talk about my smile. So, quarantine interviews. Give me one quick second. Give me 2 minutes, okay? Sorry about that, folks. Everybody's home. So what would you like to know about me?
Well, number one, wow, what a transformation. When I saw your pictures at first, I was like, wow, you got to be kidding me. I said, no, we recognize you. 100 pounds, that is massive. Now, one of the questions that I would like to know is, what were your, and again, this is going to resonate to a lot of people who are watching right now.
okay.
Number one, what were your pain points and your struggles prior to losing that 100 pounds? Like, let's talk about emotions. Let's talk about what you are doing on a daily basis and some of your struggles and pain points.
I was slowly killing myself with food, to put it to you in the best way possible. I was, and I apologize in advance because when I talk about these things, the emotion is going to come, and
Please.
I'm not going to stop it because I want people to know that if I can do it, you can do it. A year ago, 2 years ago, I couldn't even tie my shoes. If you want to talk about pains, I have 14 steps that lead up to my home. I couldn't climb those steps without breaking a sweat. I couldn't climb those steps without feeling tired, without feeling winded. Carrying groceries up those steps, brutal. Trying to get my kids up those steps and the groceries, dangerous. I I mean pains, feeling like I was in a room full of people and no one knew how alone I felt, how depressed I felt, how food food was the only comfort that I would find. If I was upset about something, I would sit there and I would eat an entire bag of chips. And I'm not talking your regular size of chips. I'm talking like the party size with a 2 liter of soda. And that was me. And that's what I did. And that made me feel better. Talking about pains, being at my highest weight, 315 pounds. And having to have my husband tie my shoes for me because my stomach was so big that I couldn't tie my shoes. Those were the types of pains where I would make any excuse to not go to the park with my kids because I was too big to go down the slide. I was too big to get on the swings. I was too big to even run with them. It hurt. It genuinely hurt to even walk at some point. And it was devastating. I felt like a bad mom. I felt like a bad partner. I even felt like a bad nurse at times because I was tired. I'd come home from work and I had no energy. I wasn't the best me. I wasn't happy. I really wasn't. And yeah, that's the best way I can put it for you.
And you said a couple of points there. You said that you're physically you were struggling, but also comes with that that whole all interchangeable is your emotions, how it's affecting your relationships with your kids because you can't connect with them at the level you'd like to. You can't connect with your husband at the level you'd like to. You are holding yourself away. You are shying yourself away from the community, which in return is hurting you emotionally, and you're feeling like you're letting everybody down. So there must have been a turning point, and there, right there, is when I look at that and say, a lot of people who are going through this have to take a step back, look at the big picture, and then ask themselves, what is my why? And when you look at that, what was your why? What was the reason? Where was that turning point when you said, no, enough is enough. 300 pounds is not acceptable. I need to do something. There must have been a massive why for you to take these changes. And how did that happen? What was it?
There was. I, being the weight I was, what a lot of people don't realize as a mom, as a spouse, as a partner, as anything that you are, the choices that we make affect everyone in our lives. My weight was not only me, it was my husband, it was my children. Everyone in my family was overweight. And we went to the doctors because my husband was being told that he was going to be a diabetic, that he was pre-diabetic. And lo and behold, a couple of weeks later, my husband suffered a car accident at work, ended up having a traumatic brain injury. I ended up watching the man that I love go through surgery, having a seizure post-surgery. And remember, I'm a nurse. So when they were doing things to him, when they were talking about certain things that they figured I might not understand, I understood everything that was happening. And I almost lost my husband. And man, was that a wake-up call? Was that a true... It was funny because I was sitting in the hospital crying. And all I kept thinking was, if my husband dies, I'm not a good enough mom to do this by myself. I'm not strong enough to do this by myself. I am not even healthy enough to do this by myself. And that stopped me dead in my tracks. And I never looked back. I never looked back. I put my feet on the ground every single day. I prayed for strength, and I just kept putting one foot in front of the other. And I kept telling myself when it got hard, remember that day. Remember that why. Remember the fear that you felt. I like to refer to my depression as a bottomless pit. And I don't know how others describe depression, but for me, when I would face a bout of depression, it felt like I was in this deep pit and there was no getting out. There was just a hole that I would look up from. When I found this why, it moved me. And I don't believe that people need you know, a life or death situation to find that why. But you have to find something that when you genuinely just want to throw yourself on the floor and say, I give up, I don't care, I'll be fat, I will eat Doritos for the rest of my life, it reminds you that. It reminds you why you started. It reminds you what this is worth. And for me, that was not only myself, but my family. And making sure that whatever came our way, I was going to be at my best. And I was going to tackle this at my best because I realized my biggest obstacle was me. That pit that I talk about was me, was my own self-doubt, was my own fear to fail. I don't know, because fail to me was being 315 pounds, not able to tie my shoes. Because when people talk about, oh, I'm going to fail, I'm not going to do this, I can't do this, what is failure? It's where we are right now because we're not happy. We're not okay. We're depressed. We're obese. We're in pain. We're alone. It's all of those things that when that moment happened, I'll never forget it. I will never forget it.
Wow.
And I will never, ever go back to that place.
That's amazing, amazing, and wow, you know what? And feel free. Like I said, this is my shit. This is like I call it keeping it real, and you are really keeping it real. So you know, if you need to take time for your tears, go for it. You're resonating, and that's what it is. So you know, let's fast forward. Let's turn that around. Let's turn that, you know, the bottom of the pit, that downward spiral, that lows that you had in your life. Let's turn it around to 1 year later and where you are today.
Yeah.
Now you took some drastic changes. You started a lifestyle change, which included drinking therapeutic ketones, working on a diet plan, doing all the regular things. Let's talk about how that has now changed your life and what it means for you. What does your daily life look like now, like in terms of how you take on each day moving forwards now?
I take each day now moving forward with gratefulness, with a sense of joy. Not every day is great, right? And I tell people, yes, I made drastic changes, but I also didn't, I don't know how to describe it, but I didn't, I'm an all or nothing kind of person. That's just me. But what I tell people is that they have to find what works for them.
Right.
Nowadays, you know, with social media, with just everything, I mean, even back when I was a kid, we are always comparing ourselves to others. We are always wanting to be that person in the magazine, that person on Instagram, that person I follow, and she has the best life ever. There's no such thing. There is no such thing. Your biggest competition is yourself. So I start every single day by reminding myself in the mirror who my biggest competition is. Amazing. Who I strive to push to be better. Above my mirror, I actually have little decals that I got at Target that say, don't give up. The only way I fail at this is if I give up, if I stop trying. And now I wake up also looking at this man. This is my husband.
Wow. And I was about to ask you about that. How's your husband's life changed since the car accident? And what are you two as a couple now doing together to keep each other inspired and motivated? Like, you guys must be like, you know, like challenging each other every day to be better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So we challenge each other to be better each and every day, whether it's who can shake up their ketones the fastest, who can, you know, do it the funniest, we actually do a family routine in the mornings where we choose, someone in our family chooses one song and we have a dance party. That's Beautiful. Something that before, like, I didn't have the energy to do that. I didn't have the life in me to do that. And it's changed. It's changed everything. Making this choice, making this decision, finding ketones and shaking them up every day, it's changed for all of us. The energy, the focus, the sleep that I get now. Really, at 315 pounds, can you imagine how uncomfortable it is to sleep at 315 pounds? There was days where I would actually sleep, and this is embarrassing to say, but in full transparency, I used to sleep on the couch because it was too hard to get out of my bed in the morning. So I would sleep on the couch, propped up on pillows.
That is amazing.
There was times where I would be cold and I would be too heavy to get up and get a blanket. Things like that. We start our day with gratitude. We tell each other amongst our family what we're grateful for, what we are thankful for, and what we are going to fail at today.
Yeah.
So I ask my kids, what are you going to fail at today? Because if you're not failing, you're not trying. So I need you to try. Don't ever be afraid to try. Don't ever be afraid to try. Don't ever be afraid to fail.
That's amazing.
So,
you know, and I'm glad that you found something that you can now incorporate into your daily lifestyle that you and your husband enjoy, that is allowing you to, number one, gain more energy, that is burning fat, that is allowing you to sleep better, that is giving you that hunger suppressant or appetite control. So it seems like, you know, with everything that you're doing, it seems like you're now turning into one of those well-oiled machines that just constantly keeps going. Your energy levels are there, your cognitive function seems to be there. You know, you're alert during those, you know, long hours at the hospital treating people, and now you're doing something that is putting a smile on your face, but you're helping other people do it as well. So my last question, you know, you pretty much touched on everything. And again, I like to keep it short and sweet. And, you know, again, you know, you started off with these ketones as a trial, you tried it out, you started to notice the difference. Without, you know, and again, this is not even about the products or anything like that, but what I wanted to ask you is just on a closing note, if someone out there is watching this video, or this video eventually gets shared, it goes across social media on YouTube, and like it is, what is your message for those people who are actually seeking change? And what is your personal message to them? You talked about never giving up, about overcoming fear, you know, taking the steps. What else do you want to add to that as we close this off?
I think it would be that, you know, and this is something that I heard from Brian Underwood, the CEO of Pruvit, and part of the reason why I love Pruvit as much as I do is it's not no fear, N-O. It's no fear, K-N-O-W.
Right.
It's okay to be afraid. It is okay to be afraid. Guess what? We're all afraid. We are all afraid. You are not alone in that. The difference is to not let that fear stop you. Because guess what? Even at an hour a day, right? You commit an hour every single day, 30 minutes, 5 minutes. When I first started this journey, I walked exactly 5 minutes a day. 5. That is all I could handle. That is all I could do. 5. This, I wish you could see it, but I have a plaque up on my wall right now. I just did a 5K back in December with a group of friends.
Wow. Inspiration.
If I would have given up because of that fear, I would have never known that. I would have never known this side of life. And, you know, ketones, this is my first day on ketones right here. I was skeptical. I said, oh, ketones, what is that? I don't talk much about ketones because I tell people the journey with the ketones, the best thing I can tell you is drink them. Trust the process. Drink them. There is no magic pill. There is no trick. It's a process.
Exactly.
It took me almost 30 years to get to 315 pounds. I am blessed, and I worked my butt off to lose that 100 pounds in a year. Even if you only lose 5, 10, 20, which I guarantee you, that's not going to be the case if you give it your all, where would you be another year from now at another 20, 30 pounds? It adds up. So even at 1% better a day, think about that in 365 days, where you would be a day from now, where you would be. So it's okay to be afraid, but
beautiful.
Go for it.
Beautiful. And then, you know what, just to wrap it up, you kind of hit a good couple of points there that, you know what, this is a process. You have to trust the process. This is not something that you can drink and magically watch the weight come off, or everything happens just out of the blue. You can't turn around and say, well, I'll try it for a week or 10 days, and if it doesn't work, it's a process. You don't put on the
Mhm.
weight overnight. You're not going to lose the weight overnight. It's
Yeah.
a process. You've got to work with
Definitely.
it. And like I said, with anything, and as a fitness background, these are supplements that are helping you to aid you along to your journey. You need
Yes.
to eat right. You need to, consult with your doctors and physicians. You need to exercise moderately, whether it's,
Yes.
like you said, walking 5 minutes a day before you hit
I
that
have
5K.
people.
But set that
Hmm.
long-term goal of, I want to do
Yeah.
5K, and let's work back from it by starting in
Exactly.
5-minute increments. So you see,
Exactly.
when people are out there saying, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight, what's out there? Nothing is, it's not what's out there, it's what's in here that's going to
Definitely.
get you to where you want to be. All
Mhm.
right. So
Definitely.
I want to thank you, Amy. Anna, sorry. I see Amy's messages
Okay.
flying up the screen. So it's Amy. I see Amy's
That's
messages.
okay.
And this is why I should swipe off the
She's
comments.
one of my
Anna,
biggest. She's one of my biggest
I
supporters.
know
Hey,
she is.
Amy.
I see her
Yes.
flying
Yes.
messages and hearts and hugs going off. Sorry, Anna, not Amy. My bad. If anybody is ever interested or even a tad curious, there's no harm in being curious.
No.
Ask, comment, or if you want to keep it confidential, message myself, message Anna, talk to us. Say,
Yeah.
okay, you mentioned this thing. What is this? I'd like to try
Yeah.
it for 10 days. I want to see what happens because I'm
Definitely.
struggling with A, B, and C, and I need to get to my destination, which is X, Y, and Z. How do I get there? I want to do these 5 minutes a day. What do I need to do for 5 minutes every single day to get me from point A to point Z? And let's get you there. We'll answer your questions for you.
Definitely. You're not alone.
No,
I tell
never
that
alone.
people, I answer people at 2, 3 in the morning and they're like, good God, you're awake. And I'm like, I'm here. I'm here for you.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
thank you so much for having me. I
Thank you,
really, really
Anna.
appreciate it.
I really appreciate your time. You enjoy the rest of the evening. You're in the Pacific time zone, so we're wrapping up for the evening here while your evening is starting. You enjoy.
Yes.
All right. Look after yourself, and thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you soon.
Thank
Bye for now.
you. Bye.